Just go across to the Wipro management that is delivering a press conference post the first quarter numbers.
With incredible legacy. I've known, as you can imagine, I've known Wipro as one of the pioneering leaders in the industry, and over the years, I've really come to greatly respect and admire the company, its values, its people, and its capabilities. Above all, the founder, chairman, Mr. Azim Premji's extraordinary leadership of this company for over 50 years, and his exceptional generosity is legendary. I have immense respect for the work done by the Azim Premji Foundation for the underprivileged. Its 67% economic ownership of Wipro adds greater meaning to everything we do every day. As we speak, we are amidst a global pandemic, which has few parallels in history. Safety of employees will be our paramount concern as we navigate these extraordinary times. The pandemic has brought about lasting changes in our ways of working. I have heard of remarkable stories from our customers with whom I've spoken lately, partners and colleagues, on how we have adapted to the new demands of today, and the indomitable spirit and dedication that we have shown in keeping our promise to customers and communities where we operate. Over the last few weeks, I've been spending time with senior leaders and teams across units and functions to take a holistic view of our business and better understand our opportunities and challenges. This is a defining period for our industry and for Wipro. Disruption has always been a part of our business, but challenges are new. And I'm convinced that Wipro, with a long history of 75 years, who has overcome many challenges with tenacity and resilience. The culture of innovation fostered here over the ages will help us pivot and transform. Finally, I want to state that profitable growth is our most important agenda. Despite the immediate challenges, I have absolutely no doubt that we will emerge stronger. Over the next few weeks, working closely with Chairman Rishad Premji and other senior leaders, I expect to finalize the plan to drive improvement across all spheres in our quest to achieve industry-leading growth. So I look forward to meet you in person next time with more details on our strategy and vision. With that, I now hand it over to Jatin for his comments on the business performance and the highlights for Q1 21. Thank you.
Jatin should be joining in a minute.
Just give it a second. Jatin is just joining. This is the real virtual world, so some glitches. We all are at homes. He's just trying to hook on from his laptop to his phone. So just give a minute. Apologies for this break.
Saurabh, do you want me to sing now?
We'll wait. Jatin is there. Yeah, he's joined.
Yeah, he's joined. He's joined.
Yes, we can start.
Yeah, Jatin, go ahead. Yeah.
So thank you very much for joining us. Some of these things really take their own life suddenly, and my laptop did. So sorry for that. I will cover our performance in three separate brackets. Number one is the way we manage the quarter in terms of business continuity. We have done very well in terms of only 4,000 to 4,000, 5,000 employees coming to office, and really 95% of our staff working from home. The second thing which we have done well is we have taken care of their medical support. We have also worked on mental support, mental well-being helpline, etc. And Saurabh can talk a little bit about it. I will talk about IT services revenue. We are 4.4% year-on-year decline, and it is in constant currency. We have done a very good job on operating margin, where we have kept it at 19%, which is 1.4% expansion on quarter basis. Our EPS declined. EPS actually grew 5.7%. Sorry, there is a little bit of echo. Even when our revenues declined by 4.4% year-on-year. We did a very good job on cash conversion. Our operating cash flows were really 127% of our EBITDA. And our free cash flows were really 157% of our net income. Our ETR went slightly up this quarter, which was 22.1%. And we had a very good Forex realization this quarter, which was 75.95. The second aspect of my commentary is regarding the demand environment. You know that the world is in a very difficult situation, has been in a very difficult situation, and we feel proud the way we have managed the quarter one in terms of performance. Our order book looks quite good in the context of the environment. We are seeing some uptick in order book compared to last year. We have seen that the deals have continued to close even during the course of the quarter one, and the momentum is therefore continuing. And overall, we feel that as we get into quarter two, some of our BUs like technology, CBU, and communications should come back on some sort of a positive trajectory. But there are parts of environment which still remain quite uncertain, and we'll have to work through on those as we progress through quarter two. Overall, we are quite happy with the progress that we made in quarter one, especially on the profitability, especially on cash conversion, and especially managing the operations the way we manage through the quarter. I also want to talk about one of the acquisitions that we have just announced today. The acquisition is called IVIA Servicos, and that is in Brazil. It gives us a great entry into Northeast Brazil, and it has potential to serve us as a part of our global delivery network. Overall, a quarter that started with a lot of lack of visibility. I think the team Wipro has worked hard to come out well on the other side of the quarter, and we are very happy where we are at the end of quarter one, and we'll be happy to take your questions from you.
Chandra, would you like to go first? Please unmute and proceed. Chandra. Chandra, we cannot hear you. Sorry.
Mute. Chandra, we can't hear you. Yeah. No, still we can't hear you.
Sorry, Chandra.
We still can't hear you, Chandra.
Yeah. We can move to somebody else till Chandra.
Ayushman, next. Would you like to go next? Ayushman.
Yeah. Hey, hi, Ayushman here from Mint. So I want to understand when we can expect recovery. Which verticals and geographies is going to drive this recovery? That's one. And second is when can we expect some kind of a lateral hiring to resume? Yeah, those two.
So Jatin, I can speak on the hiring part first, and then you can take on the others, and then we can, and Thierry can give an overall comments. So Ashwin, thanks for your question. First of all, let me tell you that lateral hiring never stopped. In this quarter, Wipro has hired 7,000 people gross, and we have hired across the globe wherever there was demand and wherever there were skills required. So to answer your question, hiring has not stopped. We will continue to hire in Q2 based on what we have the demands are across the globe. So I'm keeping my answer specific to the lateral hiring. On other details we'll speak later. Over to you, Jatin.
Yes, so thanks, Saurabh. I will talk about what is working in the market. And what is working is some of the COVID offerings that Wipro developed, and it's not something that we developed today. It is something that we have been invested in for a long time. And the specifically cloud, VDI, SD-WAN offering, etc. in infrastructure services, we are seeing great traction. We are seeing great traction for our services in cybersecurity. We are seeing great traction in our DOP, digital operations and platform service offering. So we are quite excited, by the way, of the opportunity which is coming out of the current pandemic, because if there is one thing which it is making very real is a need for technology to enable the business. So we are quite excited about our offering and what are the attraction points that we are able to generate in the marketplace. Specifically on sectors, as I shared before, we certainly see consumer, business unit, technology, and communications faring a little better vis-a-vis stability. I wouldn't say we are back into the growth track for any BUs in the current context, but I'll say they are faring little better, and where we see a trajectory more stable and towards improvement. And others will have to wait and watch, specifically in geographies where we are still seeing an elevated cases of the pandemic, and we'll have to see how it pans out. So little too early to call. I'll request Thierry if he would like to add any additional color.
Yes, thank you, Jatin. So yes, if I look at the different quarters and give a perception for where we are, I feel, obviously looking at it, after the fact, the work done by the team in the first quarter has been absolutely great. The way the team has responded to the challenge of the crisis and the way it has worked and connected with our customers more closely than ever. In fact, we've had a lot of great feedback from customers praising us for the quality of the connection and the dedication and the commitment of the teams during the first quarter. So you have now the figures for the first quarter. The view is clearly to shoot for stabilization of the revenue of the top line in the second quarter. That's what we see today. For the second half of for H2, it's too early to tell, and so we will come back at due time to comment more on that.
Thank you. Mukta, would you like to go next? Mukta?
Yeah. Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Hi, everyone, and hope you're all doing well. Thierry, this has just been a few days at Wipro, but these are tough times. The revenues definitely have fallen significantly. TCS just last week talked about the COVID-19 impact bottoming out in Q1. They expect a better Q2, Q3. You've not given a guidance here today, but Can you share your thoughts on whether you see some recovery happening going forward? And also, Thierry, you've talked about, making, even at the AGM, you talked about making bold bets and focusing on profitable growth. Could you just highlight some of the steps or some of those initiatives that you have in mind or you've put down for Wipro going forward? And Jatin, for you, of course, definitely, great margins in this quarter. So if you can just give us a breakup of, the margins and especially the COVID impact, because the last time in the 15 days of the impact, you had said it was a 0.7% impact. What is it like this time? How has the currency helped? Just a bit of a breakup would help.
So Mukta, maybe I can start with the three first questions, or at least two and a half questions that you asked. So first of all, on the projection on what could happen with COVID and so on, I tend to be always a little bit cautious. I mean, let's remember, let's go back 3 months in time in the same call. Difficult to know how things are unfolding from pandemic standpoint. And so, yes, I think we are seeing places where the pandemic seems to be in a more stable situation. In some other, it's not. And therefore, we just feel that, it's probably difficult to really assess how this pandemic will evolve over the next quarters. Will the shape of the pandemic be a W or an S or whatever is the question. When we judge our performance for the second quarter, though, this is on solid ground. This is not, looking at the macro view. This is really looking at what we have in our order book, the pipeline we have, the deal flows, and so on. And so this is why we, for the time being, communicate on the stabilization for Q2, and then we will come back for H2 for sure. We want to go back to a normal course and provide guidance, and we will do it. We will do it, but when time is right for that. On the bets, yes, I think you heard, and there's no doubt. I have an incredible level of energy and passion for growth for many reasons, and I'm convinced that we have all the ingredients for that. We have inside Wipro outstanding talent. We have very, very strong assets, and the quality of the clients we have is outstanding as well. I've been connecting with quite a lot of them actually over the last 5 days. That's one of the good things of this new world where you can connect through virtually like that. You can actually go from one city to another in few seconds. And so I've had several interactions, and all tells me that the foundations are here for the growth to happen. Bets, it means that we will assess the situation. I'm going to spend time. I don't want to jump on conclusion. I'll spend time with the team to learn about what we have, but I want to build on strengths and focus some specific investments in order to come, with a competitive advantage. No doubt, you can expect, I cannot be more specific, but you can expect that this is us accelerating the rotation of our portfolio to the new. A great job has been done by the team over the last years to really rotate and have, a significant part of the business in the new. And we'll continue to go in this direction, because I'm convinced that the pandemic, if anything, has not only, is going to make technology even more critical and even more important to companies, which means that our clients will want to accelerate their transformation, their digital transformation over the next months. And so that's where we will focus our attention as well. Jatin, back to you.
Thanks, Thierry. Mugdha, hope you are well. I will cover your question. And, even as I get into details, and I know you are keen to understand the margin walk, and I'll be happy to share that, but I want to take a minute and talk about the quality of work that some of our teams have done on cost side. such a situation is sort of once in few years or a decade, and it really reflects how you respond. It really reflects the can-do, the teamwork and positivity of an organization. We have done a lot of good work in terms of looking at how do we use, how do we reduce the variable workforce? How do we, improve the utilization of our GNA, offices that we no longer need because, prima facie everybody is working from home. We have also looked at, in terms of what are the opportunities around furlough and other options. And overall, we have come out quite well on the other side. I will now give you the margin walk. We have got about 1% benefit of rupee. We have got operational improvement or of close to about 1%, additional 1%.
First of all, thank you for the warm welcome. It feels fantastic to have joined this wonderful family. I know I will disappoint you, but I think it would not be serious for me to come with some directions and plan after 7 days in the company. Wipro is an exceptional group, as I said, with amazing assets, outstanding values, and I have a lot to learn before I jump on conclusions and come with my plan based on what. Okay, what is sure though is that yes, I'm in constant dialogue with our chairman, Rishad. Rishad and I are exchanging constantly, very openly, very directly. I really enjoy my interaction and the way things are flowing between us. I am constantly in dialogue with my executive committee team and engaging at multiple levels to really find out what needs to what can we improve to unleash the potential growth of this organization. So let me give you a couple of directions. One, clearly big agenda, an obsessive focus on growth. So, and it starts with, the way we are going to serve and we continue to serve our top clients, how to develop those relationships, how to invest more into services and solutions that, matter the most to them, how to better leverage the great relationship we have with big technology firms, the Microsoft, AWS, Google, and sorry for the ones I'm not mentioning, but they are outstanding partners of us and will continue. And I want to sit down with them and work on, how to build and go one step further. On the offerings, how can we make them more relevant? Be ready to take bets, as I said earlier, including on deals. Be ready to be a little bold and really be ambitious. I want us to work on the most complex projects of the most demanding client and deliver the project, the services with our best talents. So one is definitely big obsession on growth. Second is, because this is the people business and have the most cohesive team, align around the priorities and the objectives and execute on it. Third is, because this is my nature, I will challenge status quo in different places. I'm not coming with preconceived ideas, but this is my nature, and I think we are in the world of change. Change is good, and so I will drive this agenda. And the fourth one, which goes with unleashing the potential, is see how we can simplify processes, simplify setups internally to give more time for people to focus on the market, on our customers, on our partners, less internally. So that's a lot. We will prioritize, but again, please be a little patient. Jatin?
Thanks, Thierry. So Chandra, I will go on the levers as you asked, and I will categorize them into various buckets. But let me start with delivery first. I think Wipro delivery teams have done a fabulous job this quarter. If you see our on-site offshore ratio, and if you see the offshore revenue percentage, you will see that that is the highest in last 5 quarters, 48.5%. And if you compare it with last year, same quarter, it was 46.7. So we have really improved it 1.8%. If you see utilization is at 75% at gross utilization basis. So even in a tough quarter, when your revenue is reducing so much, to be managing the overall workforce so seamlessly that your utilization is higher. Of course, we benefited by people taking little lower leave, etc. But still, to come out at a high utilization level than what it has been over last 5 quarters, I think is very commendable. Some of the levers that you don't see here are also related with automation and some other initiatives on cost. Variable workforce, as I spoke about before, that's the first category. Second is really looking at every incremental cost very, very carefully, looking at the spend that gave us bang for the buck before, is it really still giving us? Therefore, look at the spend which is no longer required. How do we work through that spend and not let it recur? So that has been the second aspect. And third is really looking at overall, even within the context of a tough quarter, how do we keep our revenue momentum up during the course of the quarter, where we started with versus where we end with? And how do we not let every dollar of revenue that we can preserve, protect and grow, how do we make impact of that? So I think all 3 levers have worked. We also were helped by Forex, as I mentioned. So overall, a good quarter and good execution. Saurabh?
Yeah, Chandra. So, I will ask, I will give a flavor of what our thinking is, on this one, but
All right, that's of course the management of Wipro. Thierry Delaporte, of course, making one of his first, debut, if you could call it that, not just in the AGM, but of course with the media as well, with the members of the media. And you heard out my colleague Chandra as well, asking him about what his plans are for Wipro, among many other things. But